Akwaba Medofupa, I hope you are doing fantastic. Thank you for joining me today because I'm going to share with you my recipe for my all-natural, delicious, versatile green chili sauce. Are you ready for it? Pull up a chair, sit tight, click on that subscription button, and let's get cooking. For this green chili sauce, I use some green chilies. I grew these myself from a seedling that a neighbor gave it to me for free. So I'm so super proud of myself. They're so fragrant. They're like Scotch bonnet. So you can equally use Scotch bonnet or any green chilies that you love. Pakposhito will be excellent for this green chili sauce. And then I use some onions, the usual garlic, ginger. So ginger I used frozen because I had already blended my ginger and frozen them. And then I used natural aromatics like bay leaf, rosemary, Aftrad Village Kitchen's 10 spice blend, some 7 spice blend as well, and some salt to taste, and of course oil to fry. All the ingredients are listed in the description box, so do not fret. I also added some shrimp powder for the shrimp flavor. So this is optional. You can make it totally vegan by opting out the shrimp powder. So in my pan went in a cup of oil, and in the blender went in a cup of oil to blend all the ingredients. So no water was used in blending the ingredients at all. If you have a good blender, you should be able to blend everything with a bit of oil. You can actually add more oil to your sauce if needed to help blend. Alright, if you have too much oil on the surface of your chili sauce, that is fine. You can scoop the oil and use it as a drizzle on so many things, so you get a chili oil out of that. So yeah, not to worry at all. So add enough oil to blend everything together. So here I put everything in the blender, including my frozen ginger. Again, just make sure your blender can blend frozen items. If not, do use fresh ginger or allow your frozen ginger to thaw. So all the ingredients are listed in the description box with measurements provided on our website. So please do have a look and try this out. So with a blender, sometimes there's a little bit of resistance, but just a bit of patience, everything will be blended beautifully and smoothly. You should have a very good blender though. If you don't have a good blender and you have a food processor, I would suggest that you use a food processor to cut it up first, and then you use your blender to blend it smoothly. So this is a smooth chili sauce. It's not a chunky one, all right? But again, it's up to you. If you prefer a chunky one, you can use your food processor and let it be chunky. So I blended it smoothly, and then I added it to my hot oil, and I allowed it to simmer down on a low heat. So this had simmered down for about 15 minutes. I actually didn't stir or do anything to it, and I almost got a burnt. So keep an eye on it, okay? Yes, so it doesn't need a lot of attention at all, just on a low simmer. There was no water, so the little moisture in there will get simmered out of the sauce. And then once you see the oil on the top, it is time to add the aromatics. So I added in the 7 spice blend, the 10 spice blend, the shrimp powder, and some salt to taste. All right, and then everything was just mixed together and allowed to cook for a further 5 minutes, just to allow everything to get married together and to awaken all the dry spices up. And the flavor and the aroma at this point in my kitchen, hey, entering my nose, Ese will catch it. If you're not Tree, if you don't speak Tree, Sewakacha means it is literally means we have to tell you, or we've told you. Okay, but it means that you've got to be there to have a taste of it and to verify for yourself. Yes, that's the meaning. All right, so yeah, this was so simple. Within 15-30 minutes, you've got your chili sauce ready. So here it was almost ready, so I allowed it to simmer for some few couple of minutes on a very, very low heat whilst I got on with sterilizing my jar for storing the chili sauce. So I always recommend that if you want your sauce to last for a long time, always sterilize your jars before you put the chili sauce or shito or whatever you want to store in your jar in there. So even sterilizing, you can either put it in use your dishwasher to sterilize it, or like here I was doing a very quick one. I just used hot boiling water from my kettle to put it into the jar, and then I sterilized it for some few minutes. Really, all you need is for the jar to be nice and warm and actually hot. All right, and then it is ready. And I also like to sterilize all the equipments I'll be using to dish the sauce out into the jar, so that there's no transfer of bacteria from anything into my sauce. After some couple of minutes, it was now time to dry the jar. The jar needs to be dried. You can either dry with a kitchen paper towel like I used here. I prefer a paper towel because it doesn't leave fluff behind, but you can use a tea towel, or you can actually let it air dry. But always after air drying, I just make sure that it is completely dry. It is very important. You don't want any moisture entering the sauce, the beautiful sauce that you have made. All right, okay, so I used a normal kitchen paper towel to dry everything really well, getting into the nooks and crannies of each of the equipment. And then it was just time to transfer the sauce into the jar. So my jar was still warm. I will recommend that you do that. So the jar was warm, the sauce was also warm. Of course, the jar that you're using to store the sauce should be a heat resistant jar, otherwise it will crack. All right, so a heat resistant jar, then you're able to sterilize it with hot water, and also to be able to transfer the hot chili sauce into it. Okay, it helps remove any bacteria that will cause your sauce to spoil, and that is how I do it. And once it's in the jar and I cover it, then I allow it to cool down before storing it in the cupboard. For this fresh chili sauce for a longer shelf life, I will recommend that you store it in your fridge or in your freezer. All right, and it will be there for you to use to marinate your fish, your steak. You're adding a bit of chili to your stews and sauces when you're in a hurry. It's such a versatile sauce, and on my channel I have showed how I use it, and I'll be bringing this tilapia, how I season this tilapia using this chili sauce. It's so easy. All right, so my Medofopa, I hope you have loved this recipe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, support my channel, help my channel to grow. Okay, become part of the family. So until next time, see you soon, and bye bye.